Hey, welcome to British English Hub. I'm Paul. Today I'm going to speak to you about passives, passive structures. Oh my God, I can hear it in your voices. Oh my God, I've never ever understood passives. Why do they use them so much in English? When do you use them? I am up to here with passives. So today I'm going to explain to you how we use them, and I'm going to be focusing on just one aspect of passive forms, because otherwise you will be confused. There's so many of them. So just one, which is the present simple passive, which is conveying factual information. Okay, so why do we use it? Different reasons, a whole variety of different reasons. So primarily it takes out the agent. The agent is either a person or a thing responsible for the action. Paul uses his computer. I am responsible for the action of using my computer. Therefore, I am the agent in this instance. So it goes in the subject part of the sentence. Now, it's when we prioritize, we place more emphasis in what is in the subject part of the sentence. So that normally is the product, or, I will give you some examples of what I mean. Okay, used to describe stages of a process. Making a computer program, the process of teaching a class. There are so many different processes. So it's really good for describing these types of processes. Okay, so active sentence. Here we go. Farmers harvest cocoa beans from cocoa trees. It's a very simple question, very simple statement. Alternatively, we got they harvest cocoa beans from cocoa trees. Firstly, farmers. Now, that's a great sentence. It's absolutely fine. If the emphasis is on farmers, it's great. You don't need to change it. Active is good. But, wait a minute. We're not interested in farmers. We're interested in cocoa beans. That's where the interest lies. So we need to really omit the word farmers, because firstly, farmers is the agent. We don't need it in the sentence. Now in English, what goes at the beginning of a sentence is the most important thing. So as cocoa beans is the most important thing, that goes at the beginning of the sentence, and we can take out farmers. Okay, secondly, they harvest cocoa beans. Now again, that's fine, grammatically correct, but who are they? I guess we would have to guess what it's referring to, which in this case is farmers. So be careful. In spoken language, we can say this because spoken language is a bit more flexible. They harvest cocoa beans from cocoa trees in the West Indies, for example, is a perfectly fine sentence. But when we're talking about writing these things down in a formalized way, then we have to think passive form. Passive sentence, I've given you an example. I've now put cocoa beans at the beginning of the sentence, and I've taken out the word farmers. Cocoa beans are harvested from cocoa trees, and we can include at the end of that sentence by farmers if you want to include farmers in the sentence, but in this instance it's not really necessary. It's best without it. Okay, if the focus is on farmers, workers in general, could be any type of worker, then active is okay. We can use it. It's not grammatically incorrect to have an active sentence. It depends on where the emphasis lies. But in this case, we're more interested in cocoa beans. So therefore, it is obvious that farmers harvest the beans. It's exponential. We know that. We can guess it. As I've already mentioned, we don't need to mention it in any sense, shape or form. Okay, here we are. Just a quick reminder, passives can be used throughout the tenses. It can be used in every single tense. We are going to focus on the present simple. In another video, we'll focus on some of the other tenses included in this list down below. So the present tense, here we go. So Basically, subject plus is are plus past participle, factual information. Is or are depends on whether the subject is plural or singular. Subject plus was or were plus past participle is the past action, not factual information but past action. The past participle is the third form of the verb. Let me remind you, I've listed below here some irregular verbs and regular verbs. In irregular verbs, they completely change. So it's be, was, been, go, went, gone, see, saw, seen. It's there in the yellow. Then with regular verbs, which is ed verbs, play, played, played, manage, managed, managed, hope, hoped, hoped, the past participle and the present simple are always the same in present simple in verbs, and I have a video of that that I have on the channel, so please visit that video and watch it and see what I mean. Examples of passive and active, okay, when describing a process. I'm going to give you some concrete examples of what I mean. The first thing is an active sentence. Here we go. Field workers. Now, this is where the emphasis lies on the worker, the person doing the job, and who is responsible for the action. So field workers harvest the sugarcane from the fields. Then technicians operate machines to squeeze juice from the cane in the juice room. Boiler room workers boil the sugarcane juice before more qualified workers operate cooling equipment to form crystals. Finally, purification attendants refine the crystals to make the sugar white. This is where we emphasize on workers. It's fine, but the emphasis lies on workers. Okay, so the focus is there. But is this necessary if we are describing a process? If we're describing a process, we want to talk about the product that's being made or manufactured, okay, or whatever the process is, okay. So really the workers behind the process are not really that important, so we can take them out, eliminate them. Okay, so here we are, passive sentence. This is the same material that I had given to you in the previous slide, but made into passive, and when we have taken out those workers. The sugarcane is harvested from the field before it is squeezed for juice. The juice is then boiled before cooling to form crystals. The crystals are processed to make white sugar. So we have harvested, we have squeezed, we have boiled and processed in the form of passive, present simple, passive. These are all regular verbs because they have ed at the end of it, so that's all cool. The focus is on the sugarcane, the product. Okay, I'm going to be talking about some of the other types of verbs in passive form in the next few videos, so stay tuned for those. I'll make it as simple as I possibly can, and hopefully at the end of the day you will be thinking, yes, I love passives, I really enjoy them. Thanks, until next time, take care, bye bye.